Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Transformers the Movie Studio Series Core Class Spike Witwicky. Obviously, this is not the Witwicky from the live-action movies. This is from the cartoon movie. The superior Witwicky, in my opinion. And as you can tell, I actually got this guy on clearance. It's definitely worth taking a look at your Walmart. I've seen this guy clearanced at a few places. And $6.17, that's a crazy good price. I've been waiting to pull the trigger on this guy for a minute, but once I saw that price, it's like, why not? So it does have the windowless packaging here, where you get to mess with the figure. Never a fan of that packaging. I've seen a few boxes where, like, the heads of figures have been picked out, or, like, their weapons will be down here, so people will rip those out. Always something I'm not a fan of. Packaging on this is cool for its size. You know, there's not a whole lot going on. It does, let me see if I can lift this a little. There we go. It does showcase the figure on the back there. Good old Spike. And then whatever you would consider that, is that like a spaceship or something that he turns into? It's weird because his head's all the way down looking at the floor. I guess it's just, good luck everybody. So let's get this guy ripped open real quick. Should be fairly easy. Let's I'm gonna use caveman method here. There we go. That always works. Pull them out. And see, this is another reason why these things get stolen from a lot. It's very easy to do that and then just shred these plastic pulleys off. Those little things. Just takes a firm hand. There we go. He's freed almost. They secured this guy more than the average one, at least. Any more? I'm missing those. Oi. Perfect. Alright. He's finally out of the packaging, and this is a pretty neat looking figure. It looks like the articulation is going to be a bit of a butt. Let's see, so I guess, technically speaking, his shoulders are like here? That's weird looking. Do we go like that? There you go, okay. That makes a little more sense, maybe. There you go. So the pamphlet here, you know, I never really looked through these. It shows their transformation, but I don't really know what he's supposed to transform into, so I might look at this one for later. Kind of cool. Always keep those. I never really use them, but I have a whole freaking Ziploc bag full of them. And you know what? This is a really nice looking figure. Let's take an up-close look here. Obviously, there's some pretty good face detail sculpted on there, but the paint is just completely lacking. Obviously, no eyeballs, no mouth outlining or anything. That's kind of disappointing, but you could tell that in the packaging. That's not something they're hiding from you. Proportions on this guy are not as bad as I thought they would be either. Like, at first, from the packaging with those arms all weird out, it looked like he'd have to, like, shred his arms to fit in here, but this looks a lot more reasonable. And then, paint details, you know, on the front here, got a little bit going on. There's no, like, metallic wash or anything, or black wash or anything like that, which would really help with any detailing. But, oh my god, and they scooped out his brain! Really? They're gonna get cheap out on us and not paint the face fully, and then they're gonna scoop out his brain. I guess this is like a $10 figure normally, which, I don't know, for other toy lines, that $10 is pretty good. You'd usually get some quality. With Transformers, it's hit or miss. Usually $10 is, like a mainline figure will be kind of okay, or a Studio Series figure like these guys will be, you know, cool, but like really small, missing articulation that you'd wish for. It's a trade-off. Articulation, speaking of which, on this guy, his head... So his head doesn't move, but the turret does, from looks of it. I kind of wish they just had his head attached to this, because if you want him to look to the side, you can't pull that off. Unfortunate. For the shoulders here, it looks like you can get some up and down motion. It's a little awkward. Then there's a whole other hinge here, which I guess this would be the elbow. And yeah, you get some forward, some backward. It's all inhibited by that wheel. And then you get full rotation as well, so that's not terrible. And then there is also a rotation up here. This is more like transformation, though. I don't know if you would consider this, because that's supposed to be like his cannons or something that come out, right? I would look at the packaging, but I really don't care. But like, look, you can be shooting. That's pretty cool. And that can just switch back around to a fist. I dig that. No wrist articulation up there. And then down at the hips, he does have a ball joint, so he gets quite a bit of movement from that. A little bit of back and forth. And then a ball joint at the knees as well as a hinge, so it does pop backwards even further. So you can get a crazy acute angle there, well past 90 degrees. No ankle articulation, but it does look like he does have slanted feet. So you can kind of have him at a wide-legged stance no matter what, which if you're going to have fixed ankles, I kind of prefer this because it does give him more of a action-ready pose. Looks like he's moving at least. Whereas if it's like just straight, then his legs would be permanently like this. Like all close together like that. Yeah, cool to have that little bit of slant. This is a really cool figure so far. Let's see his transformation mode real quick. I'll do that off camera because this is going to be a little tricky. Found this out while transforming him. Apparently there is this switch on the back here that rotates his head. Check that. Okay, so that's actually pretty cool. So I take back my previous complaint there. That's not bad. Alright, reveal time. There we have it. Quite the vehicle mode here. You know, it's not terrible. I mean, you can get the idea what they're going for here at this. It's just definitely not as good as the figure mode, but my goodness. I also forgot to point out these blast effects that attach to the arms there. Here it looks like he's taken off. It's like jet propulsion, but normally that would be the firing mode. It's not really, I wouldn't call this a hard transformation, but the hard part is you don't know what they're really going for, so you just kind of have to do some guesswork along the way. And then if you look at the directions specifically, it's just a whole lot of just slightly switching parts backwards and rotating and just obnoxious. You know, this isn't a bad figure, and for the price, obviously $6, I'd definitely pick it up. If you're not a fan of the human characters from Transformers, which I know a lot of people aren't, I could see this as an easy pass, especially since transformation mode here is not something you're going to set up on a desk. Regular guy, you know, I kind of dig. I think switching him back is actually probably going to be way easier than it was switching him to where he looks like a kind of airplane car thing. There we go. And like I said, I kind of like the head rotation mechanic. Wish I took a look at that a little bit more at first. So let's switch that. Switch this, and basically, there you have it. And then we can switch these arms around, and you can see that gun mode. There he is, Blaze of Glory. And this is probably how I would display him, just going off on something. I think these blast effects could work on other Transformer figures too. Let me see. So here we have Hot Rod. Let me see if that would port in. Yeah, there you go. So if you want the blast effects to swap over, that actually works pretty well too. Not bad. So, you know what? I will give him a recommend. Just keep in mind that transformation mode's pretty lame. Alright guys, so let me know what you think. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.